Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky the Third. I am the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we took care of a star door that was located inside of the cathedral. It required us to fight through 100 battles. We've done that by now, and we were able to read a report about the Salt Pail, the artifact that that Kevin used to take out George Weissman. There was a report about it, how it came to be on Earth and what sorrows it caused when it came down, and how it is used now. As well, we also went to the third plane just to check it out a little bit. We're gonna have to split up parties. We're gonna be able to take all of our characters with us though, which is something I really do enjoy. But before that, I want to try out if this is the party selection we have to open this gate. Bring me the guardian of the royal family and the blade that serves the imperial house. Only then shall the door open. The blade that serves the imperial house. Alright. It is in fact Müller-Vander. Let's do another short side story. Star Chamber. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Roughly 2 months after the crisis that struck Liberal came to an end. That concludes my report on all that transpired here 2 months prior. I really cannot thank you enough for your above and beyond efforts, Captain. Bringing an end to the chaos and restoring hope to its people was no easy task. You should truly be proud of yourself. Your Majesty, please. I have done nothing to deserve such praise. I would beg to differ, and it's why I want to thank you on behalf of every one of Liberal's citizens. Not only did you ensure our safety, you went from place to place aiding in the restoration as well. Now you can continue to be just as busy serving as the leader of the Royal Guard. You deserve all the thanks you get. I really am proud of you, Captain Schwartz. I'm honored, Your Majesty. I believe I'll be able to formally present you with at least one medal for your achievements at a later date, too. General Morgan seems to think a promotion is almost assured as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what the fortune holds in store for you. But Your Majesty, I must object. The only reason this crisis was resolved at all was because of the efforts of countless people, all of whom gave their all for Liberal's sake. My contribution was but a minor part of a much, much greater whole. I don't feel it would be appropriate for me to be receiving medals or promotions. Captain, I agree that countless people contributed to achieving the peace that we have now. Everyone who fought, who tried to protect their loved ones, and who endured the suffering they faced contributed in some way. But I believe it's clear to everyone that without the RSA, the crisis would not have seen the conclusion that it did. And the one who commanded the RSA was you. But be that as it may, medals are one thing, but I couldn't possibly consider accepting a promotion. I feel as though I've barely spent all that much time in my current position, so assuming one with even greater responsibility would be, There's no need to be so modest. In my opinion, you've accomplished much more in your current position than you seem to believe you have. Actually, Captain, I'd like to propose that you take the rest of today off. How would you feel about that? May I ask why, Your Majesty? I'm not sure I quite understand. As I mentioned, I want to show my thanks to you for all you did, and I believe there are to be no better ways to do that than formal meetings like these. You certainly deserve some rest too, given how exhausting going back and forth between military HQ and the castle practically every day must be. I've even been receiving requests from members of the Royal Guard saying that they would like for you to take a break as well. I'm terribly sorry that you had to listen to such complaints, Your Majesty. It was certainly not my intent that you should be troubled, so... So, who was it? Lux? Leon? It could easily be both, knowing them. I'm used to them telling me as much every time they see me, but I cannot believe they chose to bother Her Majesty with the issue. As such, I would like for you to take the remainder of the day and use it to relax. That way you can return to your duties tomorrow feeling refreshed and ready to work for the good of the nation and you. Very well. If that is your wish, Your Majesty. I, Captain Julia Schwartz of the Royal Guard, accept your proposal and shall take leave of my duties for the remainder of the day. A promotion. Ordinarily receiving one would be a cause for celebration, but for me... Good morning, Captain! Good morning, Captain! I've heard you've been given the rest of the day off! That's right, yes? I'm amazed you already know that when I was just told myself. It's not all that amazing, really. Leon was trying to make sure everyone knew over the communications network from Leaston. I hear Echo appeal directly to Her Majesty even. Directly? I can't believe it. He did look like he had something he wanted to say to me the last time I saw him. What is it with them? I still wish we could have helped with repairing the Arcade too, though. I hear the repairs are running a little behind schedule too. I wonder how things are going over there. You needn't worry about the Arcade's repairs. The only reason those three are still there at Leaston Fortress is that they wouldn't take no for an answer and insisted on staying. The repairs are currently being carried under Gustav, the maintenance chief from ZCF. They'll be completed tomorrow. Completed properly. Incidentally, do you know if Her Highness left already? Yes, in fact. Claudia left not that long ago if you're looking for her. Claudia left not so long ago if you're looking for her. She's gone to inspect the royal villa. Were you not aware of this? Your Grace, I was not. I would very much have liked to accompany her over there if I'm truthful. I suppose that comes as no surprise. You always have been one to put yourself forward to escort her at every opportunity. I can't say I understand why. Simple escort jobs are well below your current rank. I suppose so. Still, I'm sure she's well. She has a number of trustworthy guardsmen with her. Try not to fret over her too much. Of course, you're right. Thank you, Your Grace. And with that, we're leaving. Philip, there is work to be done. Just a moment, Your Grace. Please try not to be too downhearted. What are you doing, Philip? I said there was work to be done. My apologies. I'm having difficulties here. It looks as though I missed Her Highness yet again. Still, we're both so busy with our duties that it's no wonder it keeps happening. It's incredible how much Duke Doonan has changed. Tell me about it. Apparently he's often seen in the administrative room working genuinely hard lately. He was the one who proposed paying compensation out a while back too. I always thought of him a good for nothing slob, but maybe there's more to him than that. He's finally showing that he shares Her Majesty's blood after all. You're on duty. Enough idle chatter. My apologies, Captain. My apologies. As you are seemingly aware, I will be absent from the castle for the remainder of the day. I expect the two of you to take care of things here in my absence. Yes, ma'am. Take care, ma'am. Those guys do voice acting as well. That's why they change voices all the time. Being granted a day off is well and good in theory, but I haven't had one in so long I haven't the faintest idea what to do with it. Should I go shopping? Perhaps do maintenance work on my equipment? Or would it be best just returning to my room and reading a book? No, I need to do more than simply rest with my time. I need to use it productively. I know, wouldn't it be nice to take a light stroll along the scenic route? I haven't done that in ages. I knew you were gonna say that, just to check by the royal villa. I'm gonna take a little food break right here. No, you're not even gonna notice. I'm gonna be right back. It would be an excellent use of my time, even. Is it really true that Julia's returned to Gransel? Where is she? Where is she? Please don't push. Everyone, please calm down. What exactly is going on here? Captain! Oh no, why did you have to come now? It's dangerous here. Please retreat back inside the castle at once. It's Julia! What? It says shrill voice. I'm sorry. It really is! What the devil is this? Julia! What? That face! I'm sorry, I clicked it away way too fast. Wait, Julia! Don't go! Gah! Captain Schwartz! We've locked the castle gates for the time being. You aren't hurt, are you? No, I'm fine. What just happened? Oh, well, they appear to be some rather ardent fans of yours, Captain. You know, we did have a rather large number of fan letters arrive at the castle this morning. I wonder if that could be related to all of this. Fan letters? Apparently some magazine company put together a special feature on you yesterday. It was full of information on what you were up to on that flying city. Oh, that reminds me. A few people who claimed to be from Liberal News came here while you were away. They said they were putting together a feature to capitalize on your popularity, so they wanted to gather material for it. I think I've heard enough. I can probably fill in the rest myself. Why am I getting this kind of attention? Fan letters? Magazine articles? Why am I being treated like someone special? I'm not at all. First Her Majesty praising me more than I deserve, and now this? All I really wanted to do was to protect Her Highness. That's all. That's what I want to do now, too. But the opportunity to actually go with her and escort her rarely seems to present itself anymore. Must I be forced to accept that this is how things will be going forward? Thank you for your time today, Archbishop. I will conduct Mass again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Could I ask you to pass that on to Her Majesty? It would be my pleasure. Oh, if it isn't Julia, I wasn't expecting to find you here. Is something the matter? Oh, no, not at all. And good day to you, Archbishop. It's good to see you again, Julia. I haven't seen you for some time. You had me a little concerned. I'm terribly sorry for worrying you. I'd also like to apologize for not attending Mass at all of late. Oh, it's no trouble. I'm well aware of how busy you are. And I'll ask of you in the busy times you face is this. All I ask of you to face in the busy times is this. No matter how busy you may become, you must never lose sight of yourself. What matters to you most is always close at hand. Thank you, Archbishop. I'll take what you have said to heart. Excellent. Now if you'll excuse me, I should really be on my way. Good day, Archbishop. Be careful outside. Actually, there is one way I might be... Archbishop Current, please wait! Everyone, please move a little farther from the castle gates. Please, just a little more. If everyone could please remain calm. Can someone hand me a towel? No? It's Julia! She's coming out! She's coming out! Huh? Oh, it's just the Archbishop and his sister.
Come now, everyone, move aside and let us pass.
Sister Ellen, yeah.
Whew. It looks like your plan ended up working, Julia.
Fortunately, yes. I'm sorry for causing you trouble yet again.
Haha, not to worry. You have my sympathies even. Those seem to be some very fervent admirers back there.
Major Vander? What is he doing here? I thought he had already left Liberal.
This is quite a surprise. I wasn't aware you were also a sister of the church, Captain Schwartz.
You can tell? Well...
I should be back in Arabonia, but I still have a little cleaning up after that fool to do. So I ended up having to come back here again in the end. I would have liked to take the time to go and greet you, but the chance ultimately never presented itself. Nevertheless, I am pleased we were able to meet again, Captain. Was it Sister Julia now?
Major?
It appears to me that there is little point in trying to disguise your identity from this man. Perhaps you needn't bother? Regardless, I have preparations to make for this afternoon's mass, so I should excuse myself. Good day to you both.
Archbishop?
So that was the famous Archbishop Corrant, was it? Why is he still standing there? He seems to want to listen in on our conversation. Anyways, perhaps I should have taken that chance to introduce myself properly to him.
Major? I should probably explain how I ended up in this situation. You see, I wish I could have stayed a while longer, but I've really got to get going. I wish I could have gotten a close look at Julia, though. I thought this was finally going to be my chance. She's so dreamy. They're starting to make their way back. If they find me here, I'm doomed.
Should you like, Captain? I would be happy to help you disguise yourself.
Pardon?
I can't pretend to be familiar with your situation, but I can see you aren't comfortable with being discovered here. In this situation, your instinct may be to hide, but I believe the best thing to do is the exact opposite. If it works for you, I'd be happy to accompany you somewhere a little safer.
Oh my, thank you. Julia! Please do, right away.
My pleasure.
My imagination. Never mind, I suppose it was just my imagination. It must have been.
Well, this area seems to be empty. Will this be far enough, do you think?
It should be. Whew. I can't apologize enough for this, Major.
Think nothing of it. I'm used to having to run around without being discovered. Usually because all of us cause some kind of predicament.
I can see that. I'm still ashamed of what happened, though. I let a simple commotion like that ruin my plans to go outside the city for my day off. I wasn't able to calm the situation at all. I wouldn't even have been able to leave the castle without resorting to a disguise.
I'm not sure you have any reason to be blaming yourself here, Captain.
I'm afraid I must disagree. As a member of the Royal Guard, I am utterly useless, and this isn't even the first time I've felt that way. During the coup d'etat, I was powerless. I should have been able to protect Her Highness, and yet she ended up being captured and placed in danger. The same was true when Granthal was attacked by Ouroboros, too. Not only could I not protect Her Majesty from being endangered by them, I wasn't even able to be anywhere near her. I, of all people, should have been right by her side in her hour of need. How dare I learn of what happened only after the fact? I'm not fit to even serve them.
While I can certainly understand your frustrations, they were both safe, were they not? Surely that is what counts above all. Much as we may wish to be, no human is omnipotent. Neither of us are any exception to that.
I understand that, or at least I want to believe that I do. But to make matters worse, I now find out there are magazine articles about me making me out to be some kind of great hero. There's even talk of me being promoted. I don't even feel like I've done my job in a way that's worthy of praise, never mind anything to deserve being given a higher position. No, none of that is what bothers me the most. If people want to give me greater praise than I deserve, let them. And receiving a promotion isn't in itself a cause to be unhappy, more the opposite, on paper at least. But in reality, it will result in me becoming busier because of my new duties, which will result in me ending up even further away from Her Highness than I am now. I'm a little envious of you, to tell the truth, Major. You've always been able to go and escort Prince Oliver in its most natural thing, it's the most natural thing in the world. Maybe you weren't always by his side, but you were when he needed you the most. You did more than escort him, too. You were able to help and aid him in ways beyond the call of duty. By comparison, I can't seem to be able to help Her Highness at all. I can't even lend her an ear when she is plagued with worry. When she was agonizing over whether to assume her position as Crown Princess, I couldn't do a single thing for her.
I feel somewhat reluctant to give my opinion here, as I can hardly pretend to be well versed in your situation. But from where I stand, your position seems to the more fortunate one.
How so? What exactly do you mean, Major?
I didn't mean to offend you, so I apologize if I did. But protecting that fool is a task that was thrust upon me the moment I was born. Between us, I find myself envious of your natural loyalty to the ones you serve.
The moment you were born? Oh, right, you are a Vander.
And we are a military family who traditionally serves the imperial family, yes. My luck for anything less than a heretic life ran out the second I was given it, I fear.
That's certainly a great responsibility to be destined to fulfill, especially when you're chosen to protect Prince Oliver of all people.
Quite so. Still, my point stands. I do believe that it's a happy, fortunate thing to be able to serve and devote yourself to those you genuinely care for. I may hardly be an expert on the subject, seeing as Her Highness is much less of a handful, but am I wrong?
No, I see your point. Perhaps I should see being able to sit and worry about something like this as a luxury. Although whether someone who isn't able to defend Her Highness can really be called a member of the Royal Guard is another issue entirely.
Captain, if you'd like, I would be happy to teach you a good way to clear your head.
To clear my head, you say?
Indeed, still, I would like you to keep this off the record. This will be a one-round duel. Both arts and items may be used.
So this is what you had in mind. I can't say I feel especially confident about my chances of defeating a warrior of the famed Vander family, but I'll certainly try.
Ha, there's no need to be so modest. Well, Captain, let us begin!
So thing is, we had a fight with Müller-Vander with Joshua at one point. That was a cruel duel.
So, yeah,
16, but what, did you just stop your training entirely when you entered my party? What? Why are you more powerful than that now?
Lost Mobius!
Ragnar Blast. Oh.
Well, sure dude. Dude, don't one-shot me, please. Just, that's all I ask. 6,000 damage is what I expect, not 10,000, please. Okay, yeah, I was prepared. Oh, good lord. Why is it showing my mouse cursor all the time? Yeah, I did a tenth of his health too. Huh? Calm down, buddy. Negates one attack. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. The attack I would have liked to negate would have been his damn ass breaker.
Get me. Huh.
If I were to use healing arts, 6,500. That gives me back full health, basically. And he doesn't have his ass breaker. I'm gonna kick your butt, Milo. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's worth putting on another Mirage perk. I don't know, actually. He can probably heal as well. Let's do a Lanzenreiter. Now that does nearly nothing. I don't have any boosts. What items do I have? 2 Tiara Bombs, huh? I don't have anything to give myself back EP. That is very, very bad if I want to do this. How do you have so much attack juice, sir? What? Come on, what's the thing that costs the least? I have basically no chance of winning this, huh? Sealing him would be appropriate, but that costs 120. I can't do that. There's no way. This is a crazy fight if I want to beat this. Oh, that guy's faster than me as well. I gotta find the right moment for him to not be, or to... Like, I mean, he's charging up his ass breaker, isn't he? If he does that again and hits me off guard, then I'm gonna be hosed. I hope he doesn't confuse me or feint me or whatever that causes. It has debuff associated with it. You can't do 6,500 in one attack. Your resources are starting to get on my nerves, buddy. Alright, activated guard, and now we're gonna do some ass breaker, although a tier 1 ass breaker is not gonna do much. Gonna do maybe 3,000 damage, hopefully. Keep in mind, this is me being impatient. Nah, not even. Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of turns now. I can't afford for him to have an ass breaker ready right now. I would like to win this battle. I know last time I did not win with Joshua. But Müller is a handful. Seal would have been awesome, but I don't have cheap arts. I'm just down to using Lanzenreiter, and I have to be able to Mirage Burk his ass breaker when he causes, or when he uses it. Hey. There's no way I'm doing this, huh? Not without any EP regen. I probably shouldn't have used that dark matter at the first chance I had. Is he even beatable? He's down to 8,000. He's down to half. But that doesn't say he's beatable. I can only use my EP once more, and yeah. Or I can only heal once more for a significant amount. After that, I'm down to those stupid items. And you saw what good items I had. That's the last arts I can cast. I have to look again. Do I have anything that regenerates my EP? Yeah, that kind of seals the deal. That's not good. You're a jerk. You're a real big ass. No EP healing item. Jesus, what kind of damage was that? That was even more. Okay. We don't seem to be fighting an even battle here, huh? Even if I use these tiara bombs, it's not gonna be good enough. He's using an item pretty fast. Well, I guess. Do 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 do. I gave it my all. I'm down. I have used up all the resources I had. There's no way I'm coming out of this one alive. Müller Vander is just... he's cheating. Which is basically it. I don't think there is any beating this fight. But we came close.
This is bad.
Oh, I knew you would be formidable, but not quite like this.
Captain, may I ask something? What did you lose by being defeated?
I'm not sure I understand.
The easiest way to determine the truth worth of something is to imagine how things would be if you were to lose it. When you do that, you start to see things for how they really are beyond simple logic. Imagine you were to vanish from the world, and yet you still possess the ability to think. Would there be anything left lingering on your mind? Anything that worried you? Something that you wished you could do? If so, that is what you should do most.
Those are excellent questions, Major. Your Highness, I think I finally know what to do. I cannot thank you enough for beating me up like to a pulp. Kinda feels nice, yeah, for masochistic people. Thanks to you, I can finally see the path I ought to take. I'll be sure to take all you've taught me today to heart.
Ha! Just don't assume I thought of any of what I've said or done today myself. I often would cross swords with my uncle to clear away frustrations from having to deal with my own insufferable charge. Well, it's probably about time I thought about returning to Arabonia. There is a way to beat this guy. If you shield from every single one of his ass breakers, you basically save 2 heals, and if you don't use magic against him at all. And if you seal him, that's also a good way of doing it. Alright. Felt like mentioning that. I still think about that. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm feeling a hint of concern for his well-being.
Only a hint? Please, give my regards to the prince when you see him then.
I shall. And give mine to Princess Claudia as well.
It was at that moment that I made a decision in my heart. I would do all I could to support Her Highness, this nation's future queen. But to that end, I also resolved to accept whatever promotions I received. No doubt the further I moved up in the ranks, the more my chances to actually meet with her would decrease. But even if we can't meet in person, even if I have to do it from afar, I want to be able to support her. Perhaps this decision is a selfish one, but I do hope you can forgive me for making it, Your Highness. I feel somewhat reluctant to disturb Her Majesty while she's busy working, but... Is that you, Julia? Scree! Your Highness, Seek! How come you're back here already? Oh, did you think I was still over at the villa? I expected to be. But there weren't many people there today, so I was able to leave earlier than expected. Ah, I see. I'm just as surprised to see you here, actually. I thought you'd been given the day off today. Oh, you knew. Indeed, I had. I ended up running into a friend I don't have many opportunities to spend time with. The time we've spent together simply flew by. I owe my deepest thanks to Her Majesty for giving me the opportunity. I'm happy to hear that. Julia? I realize this may feel a little out of nowhere, but I wanted to thank you for always supporting me. Goodness, that is out of nowhere. But it is something I should have done ages ago. I can't believe it's taken me this long to state the obvious. Everything my parents would otherwise have taught me, you ended up doing in their place. How to fight, how to act, how to think. It's like I'm only now starting to realize just how much of what makes me myself are things I learned from you. I feel like I've grown up always seeing you as a role model. I remember grandmother laughing at me at one point about how similar I am to you, too. Even in the little things, like how I walk and move, she says I'm just like you. Julia, is something the matter? No. All this time I really have been right by her side. I spent all this time worrying because I wouldn't see her by mine, but as far as she was concerned, I was always there. I truly am beyond help. Chloe, may I say something? I don't believe I'll be able to wait upon you as I always have any longer. But even now I wish to do all I can to protect and support you. I wish to continue being your retainer, your friend, and your sister as well. So please try not to overexert yourself during my absence. And even if I'm not able to be near you at all time, I still want you to know that you can always call upon me if you need me. Yeah, of course I will. Although I can't promise I won't find myself unintentionally taking advantage of your kindness when I do. I'm always happy to have you to depend on. And I'll always be glad to you feel that way. That afternoon, they were able to enjoy a few relaxing cups of tea together. Despite her initial resistance, Julia's day off proved to be much more enjoyable than she had expected, and it seemed inevitable that the fragrance of the tea that she drank that day would remain in her memories forever. Side story Julia's day off finished. Septium vein? Septium vein? Septium vein, tier 2 quartz. 5 earth, 3 water. Items increases all types of Zephyr drop by monsters by 1 to 2. That is pretty good. Not mainly not for the drops, but for what it can actually do. On Kevin, like it basically gives me Lethialis or whatever that's called. But I guess I'll take attack away from him. Trade it out for this. Now have Luck Rest. Of course, Mind 3 always also has to be in there. Cass has 3 of that. If I put Mind 3 there... Well, that's not possible, but here. Does it take away... Does it take away... Hellgate's still there. Clock down is still there. Clock up X is gone. Lucuria, Theorol. We get access to some very, very powerful healing skills, though. I think this is worth doing. Septium Vein. Did not expect that so early. I am very, very happy to have gotten that. Okay, that was nice. I don't think we have any more doors to be able to do that we are able to do. The dance with silver locks. I already have a moon door for Shira. That's cool. Guardian, we did that. Did that. Did that. Sun doors. Did that. Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. So we're all done in that regard. I'm not gonna go to the Hermit's
garden right now, because I'm afraid that'll start a sequence right there. So for the moment, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.